double open end, line on one side, and a regular. These are actually wider than a regular wrench. Once they're not. Looks kind of clean. There it goes. It's a nice strap. So we're going to pop this cap out and hook a rubber fuel line to here, up through there, and put a jerry can in the trunk. And then we'll start up front and see what we can do for a fuel pump. Hole, lift it up. Steal that off another project, 3/4 ton. So I don't have to fight with this stupid thing. There. Looks like it's supposed to be there. 9/16 probably. Oh, there's 5/8. See when the last time Dad ever added oil to it. Which might have been a long time ago. Ooh, it smells stinky. Means it's got gear oil, stinky gear oil in it. This is the transmission, 3-speed. 3-speed standard. I think I might drain the oil in this one. Yeah, if whatever sludge is left in it, we'll let it come out. This one, I'd like to find the original overdrive transmission. 3-speed overdrive for this. There are still a few around. Oh, it's pretty dirty, I think. Yep, that looks gross, doesn't it? It's been sitting for a while, the top end's clean. Wasn't much in it. I believe this thing's going to need a clutch in it, so it doesn't have much pedal to it. So we'll do that when we change the motor in it. We have a, I won't say recent rebuilt, but it was rebuilt at one time. 312 out of a 3-ton truck, 59 or 60. That's going to be going into it. And we'll have to change the oil pan, the timing chain cover, the intake manifold, and possibly put a different camshaft in it before it goes in. So we'll do the clutch on that. And possibly, maybe even put a lighter flywheel in it, just to make it funner to drive. I did have an idea that I wanted to put a 4-speed in one of these and use the column shift, and then the gate would use all 4 gears but reverse, and then use a pull cable to run reverse. I think I seen a Ford car from the 60s that did that. I don't know if someone did that as a dealer option or an aftermarket thing, but I thought it was a cool idea. That's kind of handy. Boy, it's got teeny little tie rod ends on it. Teeny weeny little things. You would think these cars would be more robust, but they're not. Quite delicate. The steering. They feel like a light car when you drive them, They look like a great big tank, but they're not. The steering is better than you'd think it would be too. Oh, that sounds good. Ooh, there's water coming out of there somewhere. There. There's the line. It's on the inside. Just slip that up there. Oh yeah. Whatever. Let's toss it here. There's the in. I do realize this is a fuel injection fuel filter, but they're cheap and I got lots of them, so they'll hold lots of dirt and rust and crap. Because I will rebuild this carburetor and get it so it's set and runs right before I put it on the other motor. Because I'll probably have to break in a cam in the other motor, so I want to know that the carburetor works properly. This is 5/16. This is a 3/8 nipple on there, but I can stretch it on, and it's just for the time being anyways. On first. Maybe we'll get to hear this thing run today. That line's gonna be rebuilt anyway. Shouldn't be using copper line for fuel line. It works, but I guess it can crack. Good. Oh. Well, that clear. That one's a bit big. What else do we have? Horn relay. This is the starter solenoid. That's got, it must have key power to it because it looks like he finagled it to the choke butterfly. Got the jumper wire for the ground. Bullet connector on one end. The eyelet on the other. And there. Let's cut the bullet end off. Just have to stick that back under there. So we've got a ground, providing the body's grounded. Now I got to put the ignition switch in and see if I can get power to that solenoid. And hopefully I got enough key power off of that one post on the starter solenoid to feed the pump. So when the key's on, it's got fuel going to the carburetor. And then we'll crank it over and see if it starts. Put the ignition switch back in, and we'll see if the guy that took it out labeled it. And with any luck, I labeled it. So that was the guy that took it out. Okay. Did I label everything? No. We're gonna hook this to the ignition switch on the battery side. Hold it. Kick it back some. Okay. Center stud is for the exciter wire to the starter, and the ignition goes to the ignition coil. The accessory will go to accessory power, which will be signal lights and what have you to the fuse box. Now I gotta figure out which one's the exciter wire. Coil power, which is this wire, and it is braided because it is a resisted wire. Turn this off and undo this mess. This looks like something I would wire somewhere. Maybe, oh crap. Ignition, so there. Damn it, that was rough. It's not gonna work. I guess it does. Ignition power. Rolling up. Wonder what kind of a fuse box they got on this thing. So the starter solenoid's got a loose connection. Big fat yellow wire goes to the generator. Generator wires are all been stripped and covered. Yellow wire goes in, yellow wire comes out, so it's probably the feed. Those are red. Oh my. Shenanigans we got going on here. That's a mighty fine wiring. The exciter wire is red. Wiper wire, that's why it's undone, because the wipers had problems. This is orange. This is red. Could this be the red wire that we need? We'll just give it a little bit of a shot of voltage here and see what happens. Nothing. Nothing. Right. Ground. Good ground on the water. Well, we're going to see if the solenoid works. Oh, this should be the exciter wire right here. On the solenoid. Light comes on, we've got a ground. Turns over. Well, I'll just see if it starts anyway. Why not? I'm going to hook power to the coil. And then I'm going to crank it over with the button. And see if it starts. And we'll run it on carburetor cleaner, because it's not as aggressive as starting fluid. It doesn't make the motor knock and rattle. It seems to like it. So we'll just bypass this. Yep, it's got power there. And we'll just crank it over a couple times. Just like fuel injection there. Now I gotta find out why all these wires don't have power or proper circuit. Blame it on the mice. So the first one I have to fix is the exciter wire, which goes to the key, to the starter solenoid, which apparently is this red wire. It is in fact red. It goes all over there, red. And maybe it's just hiding somewhere. Yeah, the pump works.